Welcome to our study called The Seth Family. We're looking at Genesis 5, 1 through 32, so the whole chapter of Genesis 5. In this lesson today, we're looking at just the introduction. So, since the social media explosion started about, like a decade ago, there seems to be a shift in the mindset of people. Some people have begun to identify themselves as who they are or who they portray online. Of course, what they usually see of themselves is their accomplishments, happy memories or things that they love. If they had a good meal, hey, take a picture of it, rave about it. If you had a good time at the theme park, blast it on the internet with photos of people no one else knows. If you like a TV show, join with others and spend hours analyzing every second, or even better, make your own fan movie. There's some negative posts out there. It's almost always directed toward another person, another organization, another country, another religion. They feel good when they go online and tear another person apart without ever considering kindness or heaven forbid, using logic. That would be insanity. There's not much logic on the internet. You have to admit that. Someone did something that doesn't make me happy. Well, let me shoot off a tweet, or let them know that they're evil. Let me show how evil they are because they didn't do something that I approve of. Let me post on Instagram why I think they're a moron. This is the world we live in now. One of the scariest sentences Jesus said about social media was Matthew 12:36. He said, "I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned." You see, whether other people care about what you do or not do, or what you post online or what you don't post online, God does care. He cares, and He sees all. He doesn't see just the Facebook or Twitter version of you. He sees you. And you'll be judged not on how many Bible verses you posted, but on every action and every careless word spoken. That is a promise. So when we read Genesis 5, 1 through 32, we need to keep this in mind. If you were a Bible character like Noah or Jonah or Peter, what events of your life would be worth mentioning? What would God choose to say about you? Would you be like David, a man after God's own heart, who was also recorded as an adulterer and murderer? Would you be Ananias or Sapphira, who lied and then died? Or would you be like those names that were intentionally wiped from existence, from the Bible? It's an interesting thought to ponder, isn't it? In our text before us, we have the account of Adam's family that traces through his son Seth to Noah. A short record of men that lived and no doubt did many great things. They probably faced many struggles and heartaches. And as we go through this, keep in the back of your mind the question, why did God put this in the Bible? I have three main points that we're going to look at in Genesis 5. So first we'll look at verses 1 and 3, when we go back really to the beginning of Adam. But we get to see Seth with this idea of the likeness of man. Then I'll call your attention to the preservation of God on display in Genesis, in the verses 4 through 32. And then finally I'll point out to you the march of death, which we see throughout this chapter of chapter 5. How death keeps happening. There's a phrase that reoccurs over and over and over again, that he died. And so we'll talk about that.